All right, let's do this. All right, getting some words in. Bit rate is going crazy off the board. No idea what's going on. As per the usual, I want to remind everybody to hit the subscribe or resubscribe here on Twitch and also on YouTube. On YouTube, you know what? Watch a couple videos, please. I need all the help I can get. I'm close to 1,000 subscribers, but I'm not close to 4,000 hours of watched. So, if you could help out, that would be awesome. Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
I know you're about to go online. Can you open it right now?
Yeah, but I'm already on. No. All right, bye. That's my wife calling. She's on her way home. Took a half day today, so we can finish putting up the Christmas tree and stuff. Do you want lunch? There's a fat man poop in the woods. Something about bears? Yeah, I want lunch. Glad you didn't go. We didn't go through the whole rigmarole. Well, what do you want? Well, are you in the mood for a burger? Well, how about tacos? Well, how about just bring me some food. A pile of food. And you can all watch me eat it. First, I got to get some words in. How about tacos, Peter Marsh? What's a good taco place? Do you have like Del Taco or anything like that out there? For here, it is Taco Bell. Yeah, got to get those words in. Or as my daughter likes to say, Taco Bell. And Torchy's Tacos. Never heard of it. Probably sounds good. We have Tijuana Flats here. You know, the Taco Bell. We have those chains. We don't have like Del Taco. Or if we do, it's not around here. That is an Austin chain. Nice. I guess you being so close to the border, run for the border, you probably have decent tacos. Or you have traditional Mexican tacos, which are very much unlike the U.S. inspired tacos. We have my favorite thing is Taco Luz, which is just freaking delicious because they have scallop tacos. Just love them. They have quirky names like the Democrat, the Republican, the Trailblazer, the Ranch Hand. Nice. We have a place called the Chic. It's a local chain here. It's been around forever, and they do stuff. And they have a pita stuffed with like meats and cheeses and stuff. And I think they call it like the Camel Jockey or something like that. The Chic, as in the Iron Sheik, shake. You might say if you want to say it right, but they say the Chic. So they have the Camel Jockey is one of their pitas stuff with meat and stuff. I've actually never eaten there, but my wife grew up here, so she's had it many, many times. We're supposed to go to dinner tonight. Maybe I'll be like, you know what? Taco Luz, scallop tacos. I'm actually writing my last chapter of the post-apocalyptic romance collaboration I am doing with Amanda Ward, and then she will write the happily ever after chapter. Scallop tacos, yeah, they are so freaking good. I always order the same 3 tacos: scallop tacos, blackened fish tacos, and what they call a $10 taco, which is just a lot of meat and a lot of cheese and stuff, but it's really only $4.99. It is good. It's one of Tom Duffy's favorite places here. We should do something. It is amazing. I keep telling people, if you come for MondoCon and you stay, either you come in a day early or you leave a day later or 2, you can go and eat some of these places. Speaking of eating places, there's Mr. Frank. So have your own rogues gallery of people you write with or hang out with. Yeah. Amanda comes over about once a month, and you'll meet her at MondoCon. And we write. She'll come over about 9:30. She brings me Dunkin' coffee. We write till about noon, and then we hit the Japanese buffet or the Italian buffet. A lot of buffets. And we'll get some writing in, and then we started writing this about, I don't know, maybe a month, 6 weeks ago, and we're almost done with it. And there are other authors in town. Amanda Ward and Tom Duffy. Yeah, so Tom I met years ago when he was a wannabe writer. He drank a lot. And I really didn't think he was going to amount to much, to be honest with you. I've told him And then he basically got his crap together, and he started writing, and he actually came out with Zodiac, which is a very good book, and then his Panicus Satanicus book, and another one. And I was like, you know what? Socks. Never read that one. And then realized that he read and liked my stuff, but he also read a lot of the same authors that I did. A lot of the same crime fiction stuff that I was a fan of. So that was kind of the thing for me and him to bond. And then he started writing. So like getting serious about it. And then I don't know if you know the entire story, but now he is living down here. He's actually living upstairs at my mother-in-law's, and his significant other takes care of my mother-in-law, who has dementia. So we moved them down here in about February. So Tom's been a full-time writer since then, although he's had so many health issues and everything else. He's not here. Amanda? Yeah. So Tom's like 15 minutes away from me, although I never see him. He never leaves the attic. Amanda used to listen to the Mondo Method podcast with me and Chuck, and then I was doing a special guest speaking engagement at the Clay County Writers Group, and she showed up because she realized I was local, and I met her then, and we kind of kept in touch, and then we just started hanging out. And so once a month all the local authors, we would all get together, some of the local authors, 6-7 of us, and we would go to the Chinese buffet and have lunch for 3-4 hours and just talk about whatever. So that was always fun. So yeah, so it's there's a decent group. Mr. Frank, come on, we don't need that kind of language in here. And so there's a decent group down here. I am an old man, and I get mad because some people don't write like they're supposed to. To me, anyway. Like, you want to be a writer, but you're not writing. So that's kind of annoying. But yes, I got to finish this chapter, and then Tom Duffy actually wrote a chapter last night, so I'm gonna have to write on that one as well. So, couple chapters. The problem is, my wife is on her way home now with some food. And then as soon as I'm done on Twitch, then I got to help her do the lights on the Christmas tree. Yesterday I put the Christmas tree up while she was at her mom's. And it's basically just 3 parts. We're only using like the 7.5 foot instead of the 9 foot. And basically it's just take it out of the box and then just stick it up and then move some branches around. We got to do the lights, and the lights are a pain in the ass doing a Christmas tree, man. I'm like, why don't you just buy a tree that has enough lights on it? But it has lights, just never enough. I'm a lawyer, even though I don't do anything to indicate I'm lawyering. Exactly. You can call yourself a lawyer, you know, the Honorable Mr. Frank. I've definitely fallen under that label. I feel like I am similar to Tommy, except for me replacing drinking with problems with the ladies. Oh, those crazy ladies! My tree went up Saturday. Wait, for real, Mr. Frank, you are a lawyer? Mr. Frank? Oh, you've never met Frank. You never met Frank in person, so you don't know how extremely funny that would be if Frank was a lawyer. Yeah. But our tree would have went up on Saturday. My wife was planning on it. But then she was like, this is my only day off. I was like, exactly, don't worry about it. Who cares about the Christmas tree? I hate Christmas. And I hate the idea of Christmas because I had so many really awful Christmases in my life. Not as a kid. As a kid, my parents were great. Once I got married to the first two, and then I was in a long-term relationship with somebody else, those 3 people in my life ruined Christmas for me. Because we never had enough money. My kids never had enough. I was always miserable. I was always working and working and working just to cover bills. And so it's really bad. And even after, 12 plus years with Shelly, I still get depressed. The weather bothers me. Yesterday It was rainy all day. It was cold all day. I laid in bed a lot of the day, and I read, which was fine. Yeah, Frank Chandler, Esquire. Yeah, someday it'll be Judge Edler. You'd be like, yeah, and then you'd be like, whoa, we're doing this trial for manslaughter, but you brought me White Castle. Let him go. Hello, sir. Are you George R. R. Martin? No, I'm from New Jersey, and George R. R. Martin is also from New Jersey. That's about as much as we got. I finish books. Do you have a day job, Mr. Frank? Yes, he does. Exploding sidebars. So I gotta finish this. I gotta finish this chapter. Your beard is unique and stands out. You know what? I would like to think so. I appreciate you noticing. It's shorter than it was. My wife, before we went to her aunt's wedding, she cut like, I don't know, like 6 inches off of it. Have you read my books? Of course I have a day job, Frank. Yeah. Yeah, he has. He obviously hasn't read your books. What? 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 I hate sometimes when I'm writing in Google Docs, when I spell a word and it's close but it's wrong, and then when I hit, like in Word Doc, you can hit it and it'd be like, oh, here's some suggestions. In Google Doc, they're like, yeah, we don't know what that word is. Yeah, you're one letter off. Yeah, we have no idea. All right. That is one thing that I always trips me up in this stream. You always say George Martin, but I know that's a different. Yeah, I grew up with a George Martin, not the Beatles producer, not the linebacker for the New York Giants from the '80s. Just a friend. At what age did you decide to shave it off? I'm in my 20s and I'm balding. I was 23 years old. I had very long hair. I had a mullet. But then I had started growing my hair in. It got a little thinner like when I was like 21, 22. So I grew it in and then I used to pull it all back in a douchey ponytail. You know, this is the early 90s. So I had a ponytail. And then I would wear a bandana. I would do the Axl Rose bandana across when I went to work. I worked outside a lot back then, public works and whatnot. And then I had a wedding or something coming up, and I was like, you know what? I just need this. I just need it all trimmed because they're just really like crazy. Like it was literally almost down to my ass, and it was just like hanging. And I went to the woman that always cuts my hair, and I said, I just need it trimmed, and she said, holy crap, you have a giant bald spot. Like, no, I don't, and I knew I did. And like the whole top was just bald, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to be that bald guy with a ponytail. That is such an awful look, you know. And so I said, shave it off. She's like, I should shave the whole thing off. And she's like, no. I said, shave it off. So she shaved my whole head off, and I already had the goatee, but it was just a tight one, and so that was it. And then I just started like shaving my head with a razor. So from 23, I did not go to the it's been 30, 30 something years now. 33 years since last time I paid for a barber. But George R. R. Martin is from New Jersey. Yeah, that's what I said. He's from New Jersey. Peter March said, I also shaved my head recently. I was balding since I was in my 20s. I'm 43 now. Mr. Frank wants to know, Chris, do you like watching Guitar vs. Science on YouTube? He said no. Huh, isn't that something? That it proved to be a hindrance getting the ladies. No, actually it made my life much better. So my quick aside is I was 17 years old when I lost my virginity to a girl born in Russia, grew up in 12 years old, moved to Brooklyn. So she had that awesome Brooklyn Russian accent. God, I love that. And I would ever talk dirty to me in Russian. And I understood Russian. I took Russian for 4 years. But that was pretty much it. Then that was like through high school. And then like basically the day after graduation she broke up with me. Bitch. And then I went for like 2 years with nothing. Then I met my first ex-wife. And my hair was really thinning and everything. So but when I shaved my head, she dug it. Like a lot. I also don't pay for a barber now, but it is crazy how quickly my hair grows back. Mine goes back like on the sides. Like if I just let it grow, it'd be like out to here, but nothing on top. It's really weird. I bet she was a looker. She was a looker. You never forget your first. And that's why I'll never forget you, Mr. Frank. And so, but then, once I shaved my head, and then I just got an attitude like, I don't give a crap. And I was managing bands then, so I was getting laid a lot, to be honest with you, because back in like 92, 93, in that, after I'd gotten divorced, there wasn't a ton of guys who shaved their heads and had goatees. Now it's like every frigging person you meet. Every horror author has a shaved head, and they're fat like me, and they have a hair on their chin like I do. Yeah, all that Scotty in town, pretty much. So, yeah, the few chicks who hung out at death metal shows were easy lays. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm just going to say it. They're all grandmothers now. I have a shaved head, I'm chunky, and I have a beard. You should be just getting more ass than a toilet seat. So, yeah, so that was... I went through a period where I had a lot of fun managing bands. Like, I was like, this is making me absolutely no money, but I'm having sex with several women each week, and this is a lot of fun. Yeah, watch the language is right, Peter Marsh. So, there you go. So, has it helped me? Yes, I think it does. Even if... It's one of those things where I look, you see all the commercials where you can grow your hair back and blah, blah, put all these things. And I'm always like, I don't think I would want to do that. I don't think, especially now being as heavy as I am. I'm like, I was 180 pounds when I graduated in 1988, and I'm like 350, 360 now. So I'm like twice as big as I was. I don't think I would look good with hair. I don't, and if my eyes weren't bothering me so much, because I wore contacts for many, many years. I just wore them, I overwore them, like, disposables, and I would wear like that pair for like 6 months until I get pink eye. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear my glasses. I don't care. I'm married. She seems to like me. I don't need to do anything else. Chris says, I'm 28. I just shaved off my head. You just cut your whole head off. You just... After years of thinking and feeling bad, I'm 6'1", 170 pounds, lean, and I am a runner. You know what? It probably helps the running thing, shaving your head off, too. Where your hairs will grow on your head, right? If you basically cut your head off... Chris, this freaking job. Yeah, I think it's a lot easier being having a shaved head now. This is what I don't like. I'm going to tell you what I don't like. Guys I meet that aren't bald. that shave their head because they like the look, but they could grow a full head of hair. Those guys bother me. I kind of want to ask him out. Not literally. You know, you would weigh less if you cut your head off. How much? What is that thing? The human head weighs 8.5 pounds or something. You would be like 162 pounds. I don't know if you're going to pick up a lot of girls without a head, though. As an experienced player, give us some openers. I never had any good openers. This is the one, I'm going to tell you, this is the one that I used for a while. And it's from a movie, and I don't remember what movie it is. Maybe Frank knows. I would be wearing like a blue shirt. And a woman at the bar, when we would all go out, we'd all go out as a group. I grew up with like 20 people in my on my block. We were all around the same age, within like 3-4 years. So we would all go out together. We'd go down to Seabright on a Friday night or a Saturday night. We go to Ichabod's, we go to Trade Winds, we go to all the clubs, all the bars. And if I was wearing a blue shirt and a girl was at the bar wearing a blue shirt, this is what I would say. It was so stupid that sometimes it worked. I would say, "You're wearing blue, I'm wearing blue. Coincidence? I think not." And then sometimes they would look at me like, you're an idiot, and they would turn their back to me. But then sometimes they would think that was funny. They'd be like, "What?" And I'd say, "I'm sorry, I'm just using a pickup line on you." Is that your head, or was there a car accident on top of your neck? Hey, baby, you know George R. R. Martin? No? I love an illiterate woman, right? Yeah. My favorite one to do, too, when I was managing bands in the 90s, is they would go, "Oh, what band do you manage?" And I would say, "You ever hear Guns N' Roses?" And they'd be like, "Holy yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, I bought that album." And then they would laugh, and then the panties would come off. Good times. Yeah, listen, you look at a girl, she looks at you, she immediately is like, "I would sleep with that person," or "I would not sleep with that person." You know. I was also the guy that all my friends liked to go out with, because, you know, if you see a group of girls, okay? This conversation is getting dangerous with YouTube. Pretty much. I want you to use this line, and she almost called the cops on me. I said, "Hey, miss, are you British? Because you have colonized my heart." She was like, "Oh my," that is a bad line. You're in or you're out. Exactly. For me, when there'd be a group of girls together, there was always the 3 or 4 pretty little skinny girls. I was never interested. But then there was their big friend. Okay? And she always ran she was the guardian. She ran the blockade. You know, you had to get through her, the gauntlet of her, in order to get to one of her friends. I didn't want to get to her friends. I wanted her. So I would start talking her up, joking around with her, buying her a drink, and I would try to pull her from the herd for my own benefit. You know, it's not like, "Hey, go jump on that grenade for us," kind of thing. That's who I was interested in. And then my buddies would kind of come around and try to grab all of her friends. Those were fun. And my friends always loved hanging out with me because of that. My line was, "Hey, do you know George R. R. Martin? This is just George Philip Martin. He's my friend." Are you from Tennessee? Because you're the only 10 I see. Did that work? Me hitting on the friend? Yeah, most of the time, that girl was just looking for love. I mean, she'd have to be cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm I'm not jumping on grade for my friends for some ugly chick. Sometimes I would talk those girls up. How much does a polar bear weigh? I'd say, is that a hand weigh? And she'd say, what's a hand weigh? And I'd say, about 6 pounds. How much? Enough to break the ice. Get it? Hi, I'm Pete. Are you using that line? Please tell me you're using that line. My grandma said to me once, I didn't even know you went to college. My ex looks like you. And to this day, I didn't know if she was trying to tell me she dates white guys or not. And it's the answer to the question that lives front for me to this day. Yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing? My ex looks like you. Did she say you look like my ex or my ex looks like you? Because there's different connotations there. I just go up to them and say, hey, my name is Chris. I saw you while walking that way. I think you're really attractive. What is your name? You should say, hey, hi, my name is Chris. I've been following you for the past 4 days. And how about that Taco Bell that you had on Tuesday? That looked delicious. What's your name? I couldn't get it off of your mailbox. Definitely hitting on me. I don't know if that line I said would turn them off as much as my Transformer collection in my dining room. You know what? There are nerd chicks out there that will be like, holy, I've never seen this Transformer collection. Let me take off my Transformer panties. That's funny. You meet any of them? I've met a couple, and there was nothing ever lasting. I dated, one time I dated a girl who was a roller derby girl, big girl. She was like the blocker or whatever they call it. And she was a huge comic book nerd. But comic book nerd to the point of she would be like we would talk on the phone, and we only had one date. We would talk on the phone and she would be like, oh my god, I just read X-Men number 174, your first appearance of blah blah blah, where they this person wrote it, and and I knew everything panel to panel, and I'm like, yeah, I just enjoy comic books. Like, I know some stuff, but I'm not like I've studied like I know everything about comic books. Calm down. We also went to Chili's on our first date, and she was wearing stretchy pants, and I was like, oh, please let me have this. Did not happen. She ordered the appetizer, like the appetizer, like the 4 appetizer thing, and like waitress comes, she orders a drink, I order a drink, she orders the appetizer. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good, and she's like, that's for me. And I thought she was joking, and she was not. And so I ordered something, and then she ordered like the most expensive thing on the menu. I don't remember what Chili's was the most expensive, but I had like no money at that point. And I'm thinking, holy shit, I don't think I can even afford a tip on this. And she basically ate all that food, and she ate some of mine. And I was like, you know what? I like a girl with an appetite, but then at the end of the night, we walk outside, and she's like, all right, well, I'm going to go home and do some laundry. And she gave me one of those sidearm hugs, and then she just walked off. And then I watched her butt walk across the parking lot thinking, and then never talked to her again. You mean I have a plane ticket to Texas for them? I have Decepticon underwear. Speed bump. Speaking of comic nerds, there's Nick Zinn. Finally, Nick, the hell you been? For a week we've been waiting for you. Was the roller derby chick from Palm Coast? No, I wish. She was cute. How old would she be right now? So she was like maybe 4 or 5 years younger than me. So she would be in her 50s. I doubt she was the part of the Orlando. She was in Orlando roller derby. They used to have a TV show. She used to be on television in Orlando. I don't think they even have any of the roller derby shows anymore. I like how you made up the Taco Bell thing. That surely would surprise them. Yeah. Connect us on Facebook. I haven't seen those girls in 100 years. She wouldn't share her appetizer on a date. No, she literally ate the entire appetizer. Then she ate like a steak and lobster tail or something ridiculous. I had to go home and read X-Men X Factor number 37, written by Peter David. Yeah, you got to catch up with the chat. My jokes would land better then. Yeah, it's very hard for me to keep it. I was on vacation over in Winona, Minnesota, because Wisconsin wasn't cold enough. Did you see Winona's Big Brown Beaver? You know, yeah, you gotta. So here's the question, Nick. I threw this out to actually Peter, but mostly to you and to Frank, and if Tom Duffy ever comes back in. I'm thinking in January. The only reason that I come on at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, is because Jay Wilburn used to come on about 10 a.m. and go till about 12:30. So I didn't want to bump into him, so I did 1 o'clock. But I think I would be better off doing this at noon Eastern Standard Time on those 3 days. That being said, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, when I can, I'm thinking of doing at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday and Thursday nights, on doing the YouTube Live and the Twitch together, and doing both of them on those 2 days. What do you think of that? What's your opinion of that? Oh, I saw things I could never speak of again. Hold on. Tell us more. We need the ancient techniques they don't teach on YouTube. Next schedule, Nick Zan. Next schedule! So I need your opinion on that. If I should do noon instead of 1 p.m. I am almost at 1,000 followers on YouTube, subscribers on YouTube. So, Chris, Armand's Opinion on YouTube. Follow me and watch about 3,200 hours worth of videos, and then I'll be good. This girl dropped her hanky and I picked it up. She chuckled at me, so I defrosted my cloak and laid it in the middle so she could cross the street without getting dirt on her Crocs. What? Your 1 p.m. usually lines up with my noon lunch, but you may inherit many more nicks by being on earlier. Oh, there you go. That's always my move. I learned it on Bugs Bunny cartoons. Yeah, you know, you can watch some Bugs Bunny cartoons and definitely get a lot of women that way. Mr. Rosenberg uses Armand, Armand, Armand's Opinion. Tuesday, Thursday, I may jump on while driving home, but won't be able to chat while driving. All right. I figure those, if I do it later, I might get another crowd in as well. Some different people. And I need to build up the YouTube. Bugs is full life lessons, and where he is lacking, Tom and Jerry pick up the slack. That is very true. Except you can't go by Pepe Le Pew anymore because apparently he was not a good guy. He taught us the wrong way to get women. I'm your 997 subscriber. Yes! Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, he got canceled. He got canceled during the Me Too movement. Yeah, look that up. I'm going to look that up right now. Pepe Le Pew. Le Pew. Here it is. The character Pepe Le Pew was effectively canceled in 2021 when his scene was removed from the movie Space Jam: A New Legacy due to his problematic behavior of relentlessly pursuing women and never accepting no for an answer. This decision sparked debate about cancel culture in media, as the character was seen by some as normalizing sexual harassment. So there you go. So he's gone. Pepe is problematic. Yeah. Sir, I'm a late bloomer. Share a tip or two about good openers. Is Speedy Gonzalez still okay? And his cousin's Slowpoke. That's probably not okay. I'm going to guess without looking up. Speedy Gonzalez, they're probably like racist. No. I think he was singing Baby It's Cold Outside in that scene. Well, who knows? Who knows what's happening? Nick, you got any good pickup lines for Chris? How you got your imaginary girlfriend? Give him some of the lines. My favorite pickup line is, I'm friends with Nick Zinn. Let's get naked. That's usually the line. Hey, baby, you smell real Gouda. So I went to the library this morning. I had to drop off a book and pick up a book. And I forgot to bring the book I had to drop off. And I was annoyed because I left it right on the table next to the keys, my wallet, and my hoodie. Problem is I put the keys and the wallet in my pockets, and then I put the hoodie on, turned my back on the table, and then walked right out. Hello, which series of Peter David's X Factor have you read? That will explain what kind of lady she is right. Excuse me, ma'am, I know you're busy, but who's your favorite mutant? And then see what she says. I mean, she's like, what are you even talking about? I'm like, you're not for me. Stop looking at me. Back up. Oh, man, she says Cyclops. Yeah, I mean, you have to know the... you have to know in your mind what's the appropriate list. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women are gonna go, oh, Wolverine, you know, and then you'd be like, you know what, fine. You know, I'm not Canadian. I can fake it. Have you met me? You think I can talk to women? I barely talk around people I know. That is very true. And of course, we all just thought we thought you were. I mean, we still do. I mean, I don't even age you, but I definitely would. Yeah, I think you do, or you wouldn't have brought it up. Stop backtracking. Nick, did Spotify insult you by suggesting you're an old man who listens to golden oldies? Yeah, I heard Nick's Spotify list was the golden oldies. My number one band again this year, Bowling for Soup. That's right, Bowling for Soup. Nick has to put a penny in the Nickelodeon to get his Spotify to play. Mr. Frank, I've doubled down and started listening to stuff in the 1930s. That'll teach them my age will be dead. Your top 5, all big bands. My goal is to add more 6 numbers to my body count until the end of this year. I'm at 94. There you go. Alice, what are you doing? Peter Marsh gets that in a month, but he uses Viagra. Maybe I only listen to Body Count. You know what? You can't go wrong. I saw the famous woodpecker tree. Yeah, the woodpecker tree fell. Last night it must have been in the storm. And the funny part was it was so dried out and it was so woodpecked that it literally just shattered. I'm like, that doesn't even look like the whole tree. But I walk out there and I'm like, oh, because it's like basically just in like tiny little pieces. It's like toothpicks everywhere. Like somebody scattered toothpicks. That's how ruined that tree was. I kind of like that tree. The awning took it out. Yeah. How did you develop a love for writing? Reading Dean Koontz when I was 12 years old in 1982. I fell in love with writing. And I knew I wanted to do it. And that was my thing. I was like, you know what? I'm going to become a writer. And what I should have said is, I'm going to become a rich and famous writer. So I kind of blew that. Miss Frank says, you don't know how many times I sat out back and fought the urge to bump rush it like a linebacker. And you probably would have definitely taken it out. So you are 12 years older than me. And much better looking. Don't forget that part. Oh, Stephen King, I want to write such a genre. I'm not a Stephen King fan. Some of his stuff, the short stories, a lot of it I like, but generally, no argument there. What do you like to read now? I read a lot of crime fiction. I still read a lot of horror, mostly short story anthologies. You should tell them about your yearly word count. Or Chris can find the video, which is about 15 minutes long, and watch it. It says how I write 400,000 words a year. That's a good video for you to watch, Chris. I'm reading Crichton now. Crichton. Which Crichton are you writing? Are you reading? I forget when you start tracking that years. At October? Yep, October 1st. Michael R. Crichton. Peter says, I grew up with Mike Crichton. Miss Frank says, the Mondo Method. Yeah, that's another good one to watch. How I write using the Mondo Method video. Pretty much all my videos are amazing, but you gotta watch those. I listened to the new Guns N' Roses. I was not impressed at all. Also not impressed with the new Megadeth. I watched some Diddy. I can't watch that. I saw it. I'm like, I just don't want to watch that. I did watch the Chiefs lose last night, thank God. Jacksonville freaking won. I hate these fans. They're all just now posting like crazy about they're going to go win the Super Bowl this year. You idiots ain't getting out of the first round. Shut up. You're lucky you're getting in the playoffs if you do. Of course, my Raiders lost. Ugh. What a nightmare. It's like one of those teams. It's like being a Mets fan at this point, you know? The one on Netflix, Mr. Frank? World champion Jaguars. First place Jags. I know. I'm like, really? Really, Baltimore? Really? But there's still a few games left for them to blow it, so I'm happy with that. I just think it's funny the New York Giants were the first team eliminated this year. The Giants were eliminated before the Jets. Isn't that insane? I mean, the Jets were eliminated yesterday, but the Giants were eliminated like 2-3 weeks ago. Two wins. You know what I haven't seen in a while? I haven't seen Tim Meyer all dressed up in his Giants jersey and hat waiting for the game. Good times. Good times. I don't know a lot about football, but I know that's insane. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they didn't even have a chance this year. I figured you'd be a football fan also, Mr. Frank. I know you're a baseball fan. I know you're a hockey fan. Are you a basketball fan? I am not a basketball fan at all. I do not watch hockey on television. I think it's boring. But I will go to a game, and I always kind of keep track. Baseball is the be-all, end-all for me, though. Football, I'm fine with just like putting on the NFL network and just watching the plays as they develop. Tony Cutlets. Just baseball and hockey, really. I get up, one of the first things I look at is the MLB Rumors website. See what the big trades are coming. Who's doing what? Happy every day they're not getting rid of Cashman for the Yankees. They keep screwing up that team. It's gonna be great. How many years before they actually win something? Be nice. And in another 5 years, the Dodgers, they will all be in their 50s, and then hopefully they won't spend any more money. I used to follow NASCAR, but then I stopped drinking. I can't get into that. There aren't many other sports that I can get into. Growing up, my dad, Wide World of Sports, he put that on and be like, oh, here's skiing, here's bowling, here's tennis, here's golf, whatever. Here's NASCAR, whatever. And he would just watch anything sports. Like, no, I don't want to watch any of this crap. Golf is just so friggin' boring. I'll tell you what I can get behind. Women's volleyball, but it has to be out on the beach. So they have the little thongs on. That's about it. Especially if they're wearing a blue thong, and I walk up, I'm like, you're wearing a blue thong, I'm wearing a blue thong. Coincidence? I think not. As a former fan of NASCAR, I can promise you it's not a sport, it's a car race. Yeah. It's just going in a circle. Really. I mean, if you think about it. Working across the street from Daytona Speedway was quite an adventure for many years. Working in the mall there. It all comes down to who has the best alternator. Doesn't it always, though? Isn't that what life is about? Can't you sum up life basically by that sentence? It all comes down to who has the best alternator. No truer words have ever been spoken from you, Frank. None words. Truly is right. I think Optimus Prime does. You're such a nerd, Peter. This is why I'm not going to have all of the local nerds here for MondoCon, because I feel like Peter and them would just be in the corner in like a big circle jerk talking about Marvel Comics and Transformers and all kinds of crap like that. Look for my new book, Exploding Alternators, a bookstore near you soon. Just bring that woman who likes appetizers for herself. I will try the polar bear laminator, yeah. Peacemaker, no, we're not going to talk about that. I don't even remember that girl's name. I don't remember a lot of their names. I'm currently reading Insomnia by Stephen King. I'm currently reading The new one from T. Kingfisher, the third book in that series. I really like that. My my Kindle Fire died. I needed to charge it, and I keep forgetting to bring it in here to charge it. So I'm like, every night I'm like, oh, I'm gonna read something. Oh, I can't read anything on my Kindle. Well, I'll just read this print book. Her name was Donna for sure. As Frank says, ambitious. I don't remember what her name was. I probably could listen. You want to hook up with her, Peter Marsh? She was in 1990. When did I work at that job? No, I was in here, so it was 2005 maybe. She was the blocker for the Orlando roller derby. I'm gonna look this shit up. I'm gonna help you out right here. I'm gonna hook you up. You're gonna come down here. You two are gonna hook up and get married. Don't marry this girl. Orlando roller derby. The only roller derby league in Orlando since 2009. They have the Ozone Slayers and the Sun Blockers. Well, they had a lot of teams. Let me see if they have any. Yeah, I doubt this chick is even still playing. One girl's name is Jamalto. Probably not her real name. Yeah, I mean, this is going to take me forever to go through all these teams. I could probably take her and her grandchildren to a movie, probably. My favorite roller girl is Heather Graham. I get it. It's on like it was like I think I met her when I still had Hotmail, so it's not like I could even like look her up. No, all these girls seem younger. I doubt this chick is still doing this 15 years later or so. It's got to be more than that. When did I work that job? So 2012 is when I met Shelly, and like 2006, 2007. So yeah, this isn't even the same league or something. Find me the link to her MySpace account. You know what? It probably was. We probably did talk on MySpace, and I know. How did I even? I don't even remember how I met her. Oh, I'm gonna tell you how I met her. Plenty of Fish. I met her on Plenty of Fish. She's probably still on there with the same picture from 20 years ago. I'm sure they have, what do you call it? I'm sure they have roller derby in Texas. Come on. I'm going to do the old man thing. What's that from, Frank? I don't see her in there. Plenty of hoes. I used to love MySpace. I'll tell you why I love MySpace. Because then you could put a song on there for like 8 minutes before they took it down. Austin does have a league, but how many other road girls are going to know who Adam Warlock and Pip the Troll? You would be surprised how nerdy these chicks are. There's a chick from Palm Coast that I was trying to, God, I was trying to desperately have sex with, and I'll be honest. And her daughter was very cute, and her daughter was she was maybe 4 or 5 years older than me, and the daughter was like she was like one of these. I had my daughter when I was like 15, kind of women, and yeah, they were definitely nerdy into comic books and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it's been like 20 years, Frank. Who can say? I think there's Jacksonville. I knew Jacksonville had a team that was on television for the longest time. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. Why would you want to know a girl who knew Pip the Troll anyway? I mean, let's be honest. It's all good. I should probably focus on the writing and not the ladies right now. That's the truth. Although, get laid every now and then because then your mind refocuses. Frank says you're a good-looking guy. I don't know what the problem is. My wife should have been home already. How's my food? Damn it! that, that might be her, Frank. I think you, I think you found her. It's all good. I should probably focus on the writing. He can find me on Facebook too. As Frank says, it's true. What are you eating today? I don't know. That might have been her, Frank. My wife is on her way home from work, and like, how long ago did she call? At 12:56, so it's been an hour. It doesn't take her an hour to get home and pick up food. She calls. She's like, "I know you're about to be on." I'm like, "I'm already on." She's like, "Well, do you want lunch?" And I'm like, "Yes, I want lunch." And then she just basically said, "Okay, I'll be home." And all right. I love that guy. Nobody understands what me and Frank are even doing here. No, no, no. Scalp tacos for lunch. Maybe tonight though. Tonight we are planning on. So basically, when she gets home, uh, she's like, "Oh, as soon as you're done with Twitch, then you can help me." I'm like, "This is like a 7-hour Twitch marathon today." She's like, "No, it's not. Do you want to breathe?" And so I figured, okay, if she gets home, then I'll get off here, I'll eat, and then I'll go and help her with these friggin' lights. Whatever else she wants me to help her with, hopefully not much. She'll put some Christmas music on the television. I'll put my headphones on and listen to Christmas music that she would not want to listen to. So because my wife only had a half day, she left the dog home. So now the dog is just wandering around. Stinking. I work as a content writer, writing blogs for companies and social media posts. I want to transition into writing cool stuff for a living. I love the historical fiction genre. Any advice? Yes, write and write and write. Just write as much as you can. Learn the craft. Read books in your genre and other genres. Ask a lot of questions. Don't rush in. Just learn it first. The more you write, the better. Your first million words are going to be garbage. So expect that. I am blessed because I am lucky enough to be able to have been writing full time for this will be 14 years now. That is good advice. Yes. Find other authors to hang out with, but don't listen to every freaking thing they tell you to do. Most of the time they're wrong. Do what feels natural to you. Be one with the ball, Danny. Yep, 14 years I've been able to do to make this my living. Some years it's not a great living. Some years it's a good living. Some years I get a huge bonus contract from something, and then I get to contribute to the house. It's all good. All of it. All of it is good. Alright, unless anybody has any last minute stuff, I think I'm going to wrap this up. And you're going to have to wait until probably Wednesday. You're going to have to wait till Wednesday to learn what I have had for lunch. Would love to read your work. What is the best one to start with? That's okay, I have to go make my lunch now. What are you making, Peter? It depends. Here's the thing, Chris. If you go to my Amazon page, I have over 200 releases in my career, which is a lot. So if you like horror, there's a lot of horror. If you like, I have nonfiction, I have supernatural thrillers, I have crime fiction, I have all kinds of stuff. Tacos, that's nice. That's very good. So, Chris, if you're into crime thrillers, I would start with Dirty Deeds. If you're into horror, if you're into cosmic horror, Lovecraftian type stuff, I would go with Stark Lake. If you're into supernatural, I would start with Seal the Deal. If you're into zombies, I would start with Dying Days. Peter Marsh was going to say Dirty Deeds. Any of those will work. Any of them. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate all of the conversation and whatnot. And I will be back on Wednesday. Well, let's do this again. Glad you joined in, Peter. I'm glad Chris found us. Chris, I also hit a follow on you now, too. All right, everybody. Talk to you later.